Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Today's video is a little bit different. It's not a travel video. I'm putting this video out so I can put it on my channel and direct people, because a lot of people are asking, what equipment do you use for your vlogging? So today is my basics. I will do one on packing and all the accessories and extra bits, but today is just the basics. So first of all, camera. This is a mirrorless Canon EOS M5. Now, the reason I like this is it's so small. I mean, it really is small. I've got what I'm filming this on, what I call my professional outfit. The one I've always used for years is the Nikon D810, but it's big and huge. For traveling, especially when you're vlogging and you're trying to put yourself on the camera, these little things are great. The lens I'm using on it, my main go-to lens for vlogging, is an 11-22 on a micro 4/3. So it's a nice wide angle, and it's got a little bit of zoom on it. It doesn't zoom up close, but it means I can close in on some scenes, etc. It's not a 4K camera. It only does 1080, but it does shoot at 50 frames a second. So, and in HD, of course. So that's my camera. The strong points are that it's a light and portable. It's two weak points. You can't shoot in 4K, which leaves you a bit restricted in post if you want to do things. But its biggest problem is its battery life, because to go with the camera I need lots of batteries. I have 4 batteries for this. They're all branded batteries, the proper Canon batteries, not the copies, which are cheaper but often don't last as long. But I need 4 of them often to get me through a day's shooting, which is a right pain, because obviously with batteries you then need a charger to go with it. Now, as far as I'm aware, and I'm not going to invest in it for this system, Canon don't do a multiple charger. So if I shoot quite a lot during the day, if I'm up early, have a long travel and I'm shooting everything, I will often use a minimum of 3 or 4 batteries. Now that's okay because I've got spare batteries, but I need them charged for the next day. So that means as soon as I get anywhere, the first thing I have to do is find a plug socket, plug the charger in, and charge the batteries. Now the batteries take about 90 minutes to charge, and you can do the maths on 3 batteries. That means, I'm charging whenever possible. It's a bit of a pain, but there we go. I'm hoping that I'll be able to upgrade and change my camera into a system that can do everything I want, is nice and compact, but has a better battery system, because that is the weakness of these mirrorless cameras. So camera, lens, batteries. The second lens that I have with it is an 18-150. Also, it's a native lens for the EOS system. That's a nice lens because you have got that telephoto zoom in it. I use it only on special occasions, and I tend not to hand hold this, because with a wide angle you can get away with a certain amount of shakiness in the video. Now when you get to telephoto, the slightest shakiness looks like there's an earthquake happening. So it is nice in that I can zoom in and get that effect sometimes of getting close to things that I actually can't physically move close to. But I do try and set it up on a tripod if I'm using this, because hand holding this, or I sit the camera on a rock or something sturdy while I'm filming with the longer lens. And as far as my main camera outfit photographically goes, 2 lenses, 1 body, 4 batteries, and obviously the charger to go with it. The other accessory is a microphone. Now, I would say the microphone on this Canon is actually quite good for a lot of the time, but if there's any wind or any other background noise, blah. So when I can, I put on the microphone. This is the Rode VideoMic Go, the batteryless one. So it doesn't need any batteries. It basically sits in your hot shoe, and then you plug it into the bit on the side. One thing I will say you've got to be wary of, you've got to make sure that both are plugged in nicely, because if this slips out a little bit, you lose your noise. Plug in, and you're away. So that's the outfit, and of course the other thing you need lots of is SD cards. This takes the standard size SD. I tend to favoured, because I can pick them up at a good price and they're reliable, the SanDisk Extreme 64 gig. That can got a whole stack of them. So that's my main shooting outfit, and that is what I will mostly vlog on and do all my higher quality scene photographs on with the charger. That's there. The second camera I take with me is good old GoPro. Now the one I have is the slightly older version now, is the but it's still the good one. It's the GoPro Hero 5. Let's check it is the 5. Yes, there's 2 new ones out now. The advantages of the GoPro is that obviously it's a bit smaller to take around. It's waterproof, which is really great. Built-in screen at the back now, which is really good. The older GoPros you had to stick a screen on the back extra. This one has got a built-in screen. Yes, I put it in this little holder, which I can mount on a tripod. Now, the main reason I use the GoPro for, well, there's 2 things I use it for. One is what I call my motion lapses. Like if I'm going a ride on a motorbike, or I'm taking a ride somewhere where I want to do a long video that I then put in a time lapse, I use this. I can mount it on various mounts, like on a chest strap. I can put it on if I'm on a motorbike. I can then show you the journey. I often try and use it, or I'm going to try and use it more, for time lapses for night to day. Just set it up, leave it, try and do some more interesting time lapses. So that's one thing I use it for. The second thing, obviously, it's great for is in and around water. It's waterproof. It can go down to 30 meters, so I can swim with it, snorkel with it, dive with it, surf with it. And of course all the attachments mean I can stick it on the surfboard. I can I mount it onto my wrist from diving so it doesn't get lost. So it's good for that. So it's and also extreme sports. If I doing something really rough and dirty where it's going to get mucky, you can take the GoPro. Also, obviously to go with the GoPro, batteries. Now the newer GoPros, there's the GoPro 5 and I believe the 6 as well, take the same battery. These are much improved. The GoPro used to have like an hour battery on it. Now these do about 2 hours, so they are quite good. But still, if you're doing a day shooting, or you're doing time lapses, or you're doing 3 dives a day, or you're surfing from dawn till dusk, you need spare batteries. So again, 3 batteries. Now GoPro do have, thankfully, a dual battery charger that I take with me. So when I get in, I can put 2 of these in here, 2 batteries at a time, like that. Plug it in, and then it can go to a USB charger, which is also great. Because if I'm using my computer, or if I'm on aeroplanes which have USB, I can plug it in. Otherwise I use an adapter that I'll get to in a second to plug in and charge 2 at a time, which obviously with 4 batteries makes it a bit quicker. So, and then obviously they take micro SD cards. Now because I like to film in, I often film in 2.7K and then put it down to 1080 to match my camera. But I can also film in 4K on this camera. So with this camera it only goes up to 1080, so I film in 1080 and at the highest frames per second, so I've got the most to work with. This I film at 2.7K, which is not quite 4, it will film in 4K, but then when I put it into post, I put it at 1080, 50 frames a second to match the camera, so you don't get a change in the footage. So the SD cards I use the Lexar 1800 to go in this, because these will record up to 4K. Now if I'm lucky enough to upgrade my camera to a 4K camera, then the SD cards and I'll be able to shoot everything in 4K, which would be great. And again, whole stack of micro SD cards for that. So that's that. So that's in terms of equipment, my main go-to vlogging equipment, my action and dirty, what I call dirty area, water, sand, dust, where it's going to get really mucky, that camera. And that is pretty much what I shoot everything on. And yeah, just those 2 lenses and obviously the fixed lens on here. Other important accessories, tripods. Now I have 2 tripods. One I take pretty much everywhere with me on every trip is this one, the Joby GorillaPod. Now I've put a ball swivel head on it, so I've got that flexibility. It's good. You can mount either camera on it and use it as like a selfie stick, and it's quite light and portable for that. You can use it as a tripod. It's strong enough to take both cameras on it quite easily. And of course with this extra, just trying to level, flexibility on the legs, there's a lot you can do with these things. You know, you don't just have to stand them on the ground. You can go to a railing and wrap them around the railing so they get secure on all sorts of different things. So that's a really good thing, handy thing, and they're quite light to carry around. There you go. Not exactly small, so depending on your camera bag, you do have to work out how you fit it in, but it's quite nice and light. The second tripod I carry around with me whenever I can, I do try and take this as well, is a bigger, basically full-size tripod. But this is the Manfrotto special lightweight one. It's the Manfrotto B3, it's made of carbon fibre, but it does have a full extending legs, you can see. So you get a proper full tripod height on it. It's obviously a little bit lighter, so in some winds it can shake a little bit, which is not ideal, but for usage it's brilliant, and it weighs less than 3 pounds, including the Manfrotto swivel head that I put on there. I love this for, you know, those steady shots. I mean, there's sometimes when, you know, this little tripod is just not tall enough when the right circumstances, or it's not strong enough in the wind. This would, when I do my time lapses on the Canon camera, I use this because it will sit it nice and rigid, and it gives you the nice smooth footage. So again, for me, an essential bit of equipment that gets used occasionally. The other thing that is absolutely essential, plug adapters. Both plug adapters for the different things, obviously the cable for the camera, and USB plug adapters. Now obviously when you're travelling, USB travel, do some research as to which countries you're travelling to and make sure you've got the right adapters. And a tip to remember that I learnt after my first trip was that don't just take one, because obviously I take one adapter that fits into the local ones and then you can put yours in. But then you can only charge one thing at a time. So, you know, at the end of the day, I've got the Canon batteries to charge, the Gopro batteries to charge, so that's 2 things straight away. Then I've got my phone. What else do I have with me? Occasionally you have other random things, but you know, already just with that I've got 3 things I want to charge. And if I've only got one plug adapter that fits the local thing, I can only charge one thing at a time. So do bear in mind that if you're going to need to, you know, if you're taking more than 2 things that need charging, you'll need more adapters. Now, multi-adapters are quite good. You can get ones with different, they take different and they receive different, but they're usually quite bulky. So I try and buy a couple of these smaller ones. Also, I find that there's 2 things. I break them and I lose them, like I forget them. So I tend to take some of the, a multiple of the small, multiple fitting ones. So yes, so they can charge my equipment at the end of the day before I get up the next day and start again. Now, I think that sort of covers it. That's just keeping it to the basics, just showing you the equipment so that I can post this video on my page as an extra video for you guys so you can see what equipment I use. If you want some more information and details, and you want more vlogs about the equipment I use and packing and things like that, drop me a comment in the section below and I'll add the videos to it. I just put this on because a lot of people do ask, but if you want more information like this, I will do a set of separate videos about how I film, other equipment I use, how I pack, if that's what you want to know. And I'll post them out at weekends for you, rather than, you know, not mess with my normal travel schedule, vlogging schedule. So if you want more of those videos, just let me know. If you've got questions about the equipment or settings that you want to know, again, just let me know in the comments below. And I hope this has been useful to you in showing you what I use, and I hope you've enjoyed the videos I create with it. Other tips and tricks that you've got, or hints, or things you would like to see, please let me know. It's really great to get all the feedback from you guys. You really are fantastic. Our subscribership is growing really well, so it's really great to travel with you guys. It's really nice. And the feedback you give me really helps me to keep improving and keep wanting to improve and keep making these videos for you. So let me know what you want. Let me know what you like. We'll see what we can do for you. So until our next travels, have a fantastic day.